everyone, it's me, Scooby, and I decided to take a free personality test. I just watched somebody else do this, and it's actually one that tells you your personality type as far as the ones that psychologists actually use for personality types. So this should be interesting. I've taken smaller ones of these before, but this is a longer version, so let's see. You find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It depends. Like if I'm going somewhere specifically to meet somebody, then I can introduce myself, but as far as just like in a crowd, I have trouble introducing myself. You often get lost in thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings. Yes, I do that all the time. I get very distracted very easily, and I definitely go into my own world a lot. I also forget what I'm saying a lot, or why I started talking about what I was talking about. You try to respond to your emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox. I do constantly delete my emails. I don't know, but then sometimes I completely forget to check my emails for like a week. Text though, I try to respond to texts right away. I don't like any of my inboxes of anything being all jumbled up because it takes up too much space. So I guess I agree to this. Let's see. You find it easy to stay relaxed even when there is some pressure. Yeah. Middle agree. Depends on the kind of pressure. It's like everything is just kind of dependent from situation to situation. But I pretty much am relaxed all the time, so it takes a lot to get me uncomfortable, I guess. Not uncomfortable, but I don't know. I'm just usually relaxed. You do not usually initiate conversation. Yeah, I agree with that. Usually I wait for other people to talk to me. I don't know if they want to talk to me, so I try not to bother them. Or especially if it's strangers. You know, it just kind of depends. You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity. Now that I disagree with. I'm always looking up new stuff, and if I hear something I have no idea what it means, I will Google it or look it up just to see what it is. And I mean, gotta keep educating myself, right? Can't be ignorant. You feel superior to other people. That I completely disagree with. I do not feel superior to anybody, and I don't think people should feel superior to anybody. I hate that personality type. I hate when you go around acting like you're better than everybody else. I think it's just, I mean, it's shameful. Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. I like things to be organized, but being adaptable is very important. And, you know, according to Einstein, being able to adapt is the true sign of intelligence. So, yeah, you should always be able to adapt to situations. You are usually highly motivated and energetic. Depends on what I'm being motivated to do. If it's something I'm interested in, then yes, energetic. Yeah, I usually have quite a bit of energy. I have a lot of trouble sitting still. So we'll do middle agree. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. I completely agree with that. I don't have to win debates. If you disagree with me, you disagree with me. I really don't care. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone should be able to have their own opinion. Shouldn't be told how to feel, think, or believe in. You know, that's their choice. You often feel as if you have to justify yourself to other people. This one, when I was younger, even just in the past couple of years, I used to feel that I had to justify myself to people with things that I say just to make sure that they understood what I was saying, because I have trouble explaining things sometimes. So yeah, I kind of agree. I've stopped doing it so much though, just because at this point I figure it really doesn't matter. They don't get it, they don't get it. And you know, it is what it is. So your home and work environments are quite tidy. I'd like them to be. For the most part they are. Right now I'm in the process of moving, so everything's kind of a mess. But I like things to be kind of organized, but at the same time I have a lot of organized chaos, so I slightly agree with that. You do not mind being at the center of attention. I actually really hate being the center of attention. I prefer the attention to be on other people. And especially if it's a big crowd. I don't like big crowds. I don't like a lot of people looking at me. I don't like being in front of people. So we will disagree with this one. You consider yourself more practical than creative. This one, it's kind of both. I'm practical in a lot of things, but I know how to improvise with things. So I'm gonna go in the middle. I can't even like really see the middle circle. I'm gonna click the middle on that one because it's kind of both. People can really upset you. I agree with this. I really don't let people get to me. I used to a little bit, but I got to the point where I just decided it is not worth stressing myself out because of what people say to me or how they think of me. So yeah, I really get upset by other people. Your travel plans are usually well thought out. No. I mean, I figure out where I'm going and when I'm going and probably where I'm staying at. But last time I went on a trip, my truck broke down halfway through, so I wound up staying in a completely different town at a little crappy hotel. Or motel? I guess it was a motel. So, I don't know. It's funner when you don't have everything planned out. It's often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. If someone is upset or happy or whatever, and they sit down and talk to me about it, I can understand where they're coming from and try to get an idea of why and what they're feeling. But they have to tell me, like, I can kind of tell when something's not quite right with them or they're acting differently, but I don't always know why. So, just talk to me and I'll know. Your mood can change very quickly. No. The only time my mood changes quickly is if somebody upsets me or I get frustrated, but then they or someone else does something that's just funny or I hear something funny, I really quickly change from being frustrated to just being happy, I guess, again. Mainly just because I don't see the point in staying mad or frustrated for unnecessary amounts of time, because that's just not a good feeling to have. In a decision, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. And this depends on the situation. Like, you shouldn't be an ass and tell people that what they're wearing is ugly or their haircut is ugly or you don't like this or that. But and I don't know, there's got to be limitations to your bluntness. Although I'm usually pretty blunt, I try not to sound like an ass when I talk to people. So was the question, this isn't true, should be more important than other people's. I agree. You should always tell the truth. Just gotta find a good way to do it so you don't hurt anybody's feelings. You rarely worry about how your actions affect others. I disagree with that. I definitely worry about how my actions affect others, especially people close to me. Your work style is closer to random energy spikes than to a methodical and organized approach. Yeah, that's definitely true. I don't know. If I get an energy burst, then I go do stuff. If I don't, then I sit still. Well, not sit still, but I don't get much done. I can be very unproductive at times. But anyway, you are often envious of others. No. I don't think I've ever been envious of anybody else. Every now and then I'll see people that like have really good relationships or something. I'll be like, oh, that's nice. That really sucks that I don't have that. But then I'm just like, it's okay though. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been envious of anybody. Just because it's great if you have different stuff or more stuff or better stuff. I don't really care. It's just stuff. An interesting book or video game is often better than a social event. Absolutely. I think I've been to like 3 clubs in my entire life, and I've been to the bar like 4 times, and it's always been for like birthdays of my friends, and it's been really spread out. Even when I was in school, I didn't go to parties. I didn't even like birthday parties for myself, like especially if I went out. Anyway. I spent most of my time playing video games. When I was growing up, being able to develop a plan and stick to it is the most important part of every project. No, I do not agree with that. I think as long as you know what your project is, that's a pretty good plan, and then you just kind of go with it and see how it goes. You rarely get carried away with fantasies and ideas. I completely disagree with that. My brain is running a mile a minute all the time, so I am constantly in my own head. In La La Land. And a lot of times that's a lot better than reality. So you often find yourself lost in thought when you're walking in nature. Yeah, I find myself lost in thought pretty much everywhere. If somebody does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. I start worrying if I said something wrong a lot. People don't respond to me, but not in email, because I don't really use email a lot. But texts and everything else. Just because I don't know. I think it comes from some insecurities from growing up. But anyway. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind and smart. Absolutely. I want my child to be as educated as possible for them, but I definitely want them to be kind and respectful, because everyone should be respectful and kind and appreciate other things. So we'll do in the middle. You do not let other people influence your actions. I'm going to agree to that, because I just don't care what other people think. I mean, then again, it just really depends on what you're talking about. I mean, but if you really want to do something, you shouldn't let other people influence it. You just should do it. So, when you sleep, your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events. What? No. My dreams are never about the real world. Whether it's a scary dream, a nightmare, or like a good dream, they're totally based on fantasy. It does not take much time to start getting involved in social activities in your workplace. I disagree with that. I don't think I've ever been to a social activity for my workplaces. And now I work on YouTube, and I've not done anything on social activities for YouTube except for talk to everybody out there in YouTube land. So you are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. Yes. Like I said, if you know what you want to get done, or what the outcome you're looking for is, then you can pretty much improvise everything else. So your emotions control you more than you control them. I completely disagree with that. My emotions are pretty level, and if I'm upset about something, it's not hard for me to get myself distracted and back into a good mood. You enjoy going to social events that involve dress-up or role-play activities. Okay. Yeah. I've not really been to any social events that involve dress up, unless you're talking about actually like getting prettied up to go to, like, I don't know, a wedding or something along those lines. I've done that. It is fun to get dressed up. It's funner to get dressed up for Halloween. And I would love to do like something like a who's done it action, like murder mystery, where you're like real life trying to figure out who the murder victim or murder suspect is, and you know, everybody gets their own role. I think that would be fun. So. But I haven't done it, so you never know. I might hate it. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. Absolutely. That is the best part of life, is just exploring fantasy and anything that interests you. Just explore it, figure it out, dive into it, research it, do whatever. Would you rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan? Depends on what it's for. But I improvise a lot of things because I try to find ways to get things done quicker or better or whatever, and sometimes I procrastinate and then forget what I'm doing, so I have to improvise to get it done in time. Okay. You are a relatively reserved and quiet person. I am when I don't know somebody. I am very quiet and reserved when I don't know people or I'm around strangers. When I'm around my friends, I'm loud and hyper and have a very interesting sense of humor. But I'll kind of agree with that because, for the most part, I'm pretty reserved and quiet. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but underperforming employees. If they're loyal, though, wouldn't they be doing what they need to be doing, or at least trying to? I don't know. If they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, it would really suck, but, you know, it has to be done. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. I have, kind of, in conversation with other people, contemplated this, but I don't often contemplate it, and at this point, you know, we're here, for the most part, we're just destroying the earth with pollution and destroying each other with ignorance and whatever, so I don't really know, but I don't know the point of anything being here, so it's just like contemplating the universe. It's fun to every now and then, but don't do it often. Logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making important decisions. I'm a very logical person. I try to look at everything from a logical perspective and weigh the pros and cons, but in the end, you should do what you feel is right. So, slightly disagree. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. I've never had a to-do list. I have written to-do lists, and then I forget that I wrote the to-do list, so they really don't help me. So, yeah. If your friend is sad about something, you are more likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with the problems. People don't always want your opinion, and it's very annoying to get people's opinions when you don't want their opinions. You just want them to listen to you. So I'm definitely more likely to sit there and listen to someone about their problems and see how they feel about it. And I will only give my advice if asked. And I am very careful about what I say, because I can offend people very easily. I rarely feel insecure. I disagree with that. When I'm around people, I feel insecure sometimes. It depends on who I'm around. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm better about it. I used to be extremely insecure. But as I'm getting older, I'm not, just because I'm not caring as much about what other people think. But you have no difficulties coming up with personal timetable and sticking to it. I disagree with that a lot. I have personal timetables all the time where I'm like, I should get this done by now, or I really need to do this today, and then I get distracted and forget, and time's gone, and it's not done. So it's called procrastination. Don't do it intentionally, it just happens. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. No. I mean, just because you think you're right doesn't mean everybody else thinks you're right, and if it's teamwork, you need to work together, so. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they're supported by facts or not. Absolutely. You can believe, I think I said this earlier, you can believe in whatever you want, you can like whoever you want, you can think whatever you want, and no one should tell you what you can think, do, or believe in, especially who you like. I mean, it really doesn't affect anybody what you believe or who you like, so go for it. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. Absolutely not. Being around a group of people wears me out, and I don't know. I have social anxiety, so if I'm around a lot of people, I get very tired afterwards, and sometimes get migraines, but that's a whole another story. I don't socialize a whole lot in big groups. You frequently misplace your things. I do not misplace them. I forget where I put them. Like my keys, I usually put in the same spot. So like, if I put them where they're supposed to go, I'm good. But if I put them like in the kitchen instead of where I normally put it, or even like a foot away from where I normally put it, it takes me a while to find it. And my phone, same thing. I forget where my phone is all the time, but it's not misplaced. It's there. It's just I have to have things in a specific place, or I have no clue where I put them. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. Yeah, I'd say so. My emotions don't really go up and down a whole lot. Kind of steady with that. So. My mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. Yes. My mind has a million ideas and plans. And some of them are like way out there and obviously could never happen, or I don't know, may happen one day by a fluke. But they're there. You would not call yourself a dreamer. I disagree completely with that. Makes life interesting is daydreaming and thinking of all different kinds of possibilities and outcomes. You usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people. Yes, I moderately agree with that, just because I went to college for a little while, a couple years, and a lot of classes you had to talk in front of the class and in front of groups, and I even had to take like a speaking class to learn how to talk in front of people. They say you need those in case you like become a boss or something. But that helped me a little bit, but I absolutely hate being in front of people. Generally speaking, you rely more on experience than your imagination. I don't really rely on my experience. I mean, I rely on my imagination a lot. I rely on knowledge a lot. I don't know. We'll just disagree. You worry too much about what other people think. Nope. I don't care what other people think. You can think what you want about me. It's all good. I really don't care. I'm me, and that's all that matters, because I like me. If a room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. I wouldn't want to be in the center. I'd prefer to be near, like, a window or something, or in a chair, so that I'm not, like, squished. I don't like being closed in around a lot of people. I don't know. I think I get claustrophobic. Plus the social anxiety doesn't really help, but I don't know. So yeah, we'll agree with that. You have a tendency to procrastinate until there is not enough time to do everything. Yep, I do that. Not all the time, most of the time, and I typically still get stuff done, but I don't know. I'm more likely to just rearrange my schedule so I have more time to get it done. You feel very anxious in stressful situations. I only feel anxious when I'm around a lot of people, and there's a lot of different stuff going on. But I guess stressful situation varies on you, so what you consider stressful. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. Stress and anxiety kind of go hand in hand. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. Yeah. Unless you want to be a world dictator or something. I think everybody would agree with that. You have always been interested in unconceivable and ambitious things. Ambiguous things. Books, art, and movies. Yep. I've always loved art and movies. I don't like reading a whole lot, but I do like some books. Especially like older books, or I've read psychology books, and I read the Twilight Saga. That was probably the first series that I actually read, so yeah, I did do that. But I've also read a pediatric book. But anyway, I do like some books. I love movies. I always like going to movies and seeing movies, and I love old movies too, and black and white movies. And what they've done with movies nowadays is just astonishing. Okay. You often take initiative in social situations. I would disagree with that. Just because for the same reasons I said earlier. Yeah. 33% extroverted and 67% introverted. Makes sense. Observant and intuitive. I guess I agree with that. I'm only 19% observant. I really don't pay attention to a lot of stuff. And if I see someone normally in one place and then I run into them someplace else, I don't recognize them right away because it's not where they're supposed to be. So, thinking. I go off my emotions a lot. Although I don't necessarily agree with this because I don't know. I do overanalyze everything. Prospecting or judging. Yeah, I try not to judge anything or anyone or any situation for any reason because I don't think anybody has the right to judge. And assertive and turbulent. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really all that assertive. It just depends on what it is, but yeah, I guess this makes sense. So what am I? I'm a mediator. No, yeah, I can see that. INFP-A. Let's Google that and see exactly what that is. Okay, so this is what Wikipedia says. INFP, introversion, intuition, feeling, and perception, is an abbreviation used by the publications of the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator to refer to one of 16 personality types. Yeah, okay. According to the theory, what drives INFPs are strong senses of right and wrong and the desire to exercise creativity even if only behind the scenes. Weaknesses may include sensitivity to criticism, poor organization, and low assertiveness. Estimated to account for 4% of the population of the United States of America. Yes, this makes sense, and every other personality test says that I'm the 1 to 2% with my personality type. So, yeah, I agree with what this is saying. And now we know what it means, because we Googled it. See? Google things. If you don't know, learn it. Anyway, I'm going to leave this episode here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!